Okay, we've just come out of our full moon ceremony this morning. And there's a powerful message that I want to share about it. I'm like, well, are you really going to step up this year? Like, is this really going to be your year? Or are you just saying that? Are you just saying it as another like New Year's resolution? But let's be real, because this year actually does feel different. Yeah, like something feels very, very different about the whole thing. So let me just share this as always, and I've got some messages to come through, like some really practical, like this is how you can really step up. Let me show you something, like for real. Yeah. So I'll just get sharing this for a moment. So this really came through in the full moon ceremony, and that was our first full moon ceremony of 2023, of course. You can still join and jump in and grab the replay in there because it was pretty special, this one. And I'm going to share part of a message that came through of it because, you know, this is really what I work with my clients with. This is really what I, teach on a daily basis. This is really like I help my students and my clients to trust intuition and understand the intricacies of your intuition and understand how to channel that and follow that and do the things that you know you're meant to do. But so many people hold back because I don't feel like it's that you don't trust it. It's that you don't know what your intuition is, or like you brush it off, or those things, right? So let me just share this and I will dive into it because this is important. This is a really important message. So you can still jump into our full moon ceremony. I'm going to pop the link in the comments. You can grab the replay. It was a very, very potent, beautiful start to our 2023. If I can find the link. And it was technically the start of Transcendence. So Transcendence technically starts next week, but when you join Transcendence, there's pre-work to do, right? There's pre-work, meaning that with the pre-work, it's like we technically start next week on Friday 13th, the True Goddess number, and we're starting a 6-week journey. Yeah, now Transcendence is a very powerful way to shift and unplug out of fear, unplug from the dark grid, and plug into your true source code. Like that's the basis of it, right? So if there's any fear about AI takeover, or you're getting confused in your intuition and like you feel like you get sucked into media and stuff all the time, like this is a real one to like, I want to say stick to your purpose, right? And stick to your intuition and be able to unplug and separate yourself, because, you know, they talk about this whole transhumanism thing when really at the end of the day, like it's whether we're strong enough in our energy, in our center, and to be able to distinguish our intuition of where we're being pulled and plugged into, because it can be so subtle and we don't even realize it, right? So let me just bring up these comments here. If it's gonna let me. Hang on a second. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so is it your intuition? Is it fear talking? How do I know? You know, so if you want to jump in for the replay of Trust Intuition, that's interesting. If you want to jump in for the replay of the full moon ceremony, I've just popped the link in the comments there so you can check that out. So the main message I want to share is that this is literally your year to step up, and everyone's like, yes, my year to step up. And it's like, well, actually, are you going to do that? And so many people that follow their intuition, that do, this sort of work, or they want to start doing this sort of work, the biggest thing they're waiting for is like the sign. Okay, this is the sign, this is the time, I'm actually going to do it this time. Like, I just need to have everything perfect. I need to have the message downloaded to me. I need to know what I'm talking about. I need to know, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, you're like waiting for the perfect time. You're waiting to feel good enough. You're waiting for your intuition to be clearer. I need to do more healing. No, you don't need to do that. Okay. Because if you're here and you're watching this, it's your time to step into being a healer. Okay. It's your time to step up and start being the spiritual leader, the spiritual teacher that you are, right? Now, the main message I want to share came through really strong in the full moon ceremony, right? And it wasn't just a message, it was an experience. So with what I'm about to share, if you want to actually experience it, jump in for the full moon ceremony and watch the replay. Okay, right to the end. So with the full moon ceremony, we go on the journey, yeah? And every journey is really different. This one was so deliciously like deep and just yum. And then at the end, you don't have to stay at the end, but if you're watching the replay and for this purpose that I'm sharing now, like definitely stay for the replay. I mean, stay for at the end, we have a debrief and we all discuss what was going on and basically you share what was happening for you. And then I help you to decipher it, and then it helps you to trust your intuition more and understand what your intuition is showing you and how to like decipher that, right? So, you know, like the full moon ceremony is an awesome way to join in, and we do them every month to be able to help decipher your intuition, because I give that feedback at the end and we have a discussion and a debrief and we never want to leave the ceremony, right? So it's a really powerful experience doing all of that together. So really awesome way to do that. But the main message that was coming through at the end is that there was quite a lot of you guys who were in there. And it was very much like, I could see what you were going to say before you said it, right? And then a few other people were like, oh my God, I had that too. Like I was seeing what you were going, like, you know, and then you would say it. Like I would see the vision and then you would say it. And I was like, do you know what that is? I'm like, do you know what that is? And I'm sharing this with you for a very important reason, okay? Because if you're watching this today, right now, whatever day you get this, whether it's live or the replay, okay, this is an important message for you that in 2023, you must step into your leader as a healer, as an intuitive, as a psychic, as an oracle. Like you wouldn't be here at Reality Awareness if you didn't have that gift, okay? You wouldn't have that, you know, you wouldn't be here at Reality Awareness if you weren't that person, okay? You just wouldn't, all right? And the thing is that in the ceremony, when people, you know, when we're debriefing at the end and they're like, I could see the vision of what you were, like, I could see it and then you would say it. And I was like, yeah, do you know what that is? Okay, do you know what that is? And I'm like, that's how you trust your intuition and you step up and lead, okay? I don't know, okay? A little bit of untruth in this, but let me explain it. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna channel when I sit there and channel each full moon ceremony. Each full moon ceremony is so different. I do not get a download of like, oh, quick, write it all down, type it up. Like, I don't sit there stressing for a month going, oh my God, I'm so scared. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna like share in this full moon ceremony. Like, it doesn't, like, no, okay? Like, what I teach, what I channel in our full moon ceremonies comes through when I sit there and I press play on the music and we drop into the space and boom, here it comes. It does not come a moment before. Well, it comes a moment before. Actually, sorry, I lie, right? Because how many people in that full moon ceremony had said, like, I could see it and then you would say it. And those people who experienced that, and I was like, bit mean in there, bit of a bitch. I was like, you must step up and teach something in the next month. You have to. Like, you've been in Reality Awareness for this long now. Like, you're in this full moon ceremony at the start of a new year, and not only the start of a new year, this is a different year. Everyone can feel that it feels very different, right? And this is your year to step up and teach. And, you know, so if you want an example, an experience so that you can trust your intuition to also step up and just start doing it before you're ready, because we're never ready. We're never fully healed. We're never like, you know, fully perfect before you start doing something. Okay. Sure, there's training. Sure, there's healing, and sure, there's all of that. But if you're here watching this right now, it's time for you to step up. Like now, in the next month. So if you want to experience that, to get your confidence and your skills up even more, definitely just join the full moon ceremony, catch the replay, and make sure you stay for the end and like listen to all like we're debriefing about, because it helps you understand it, right? And in that sense, it's like you really, like you only get shown the next step when you're in it. When you're with a client, like I have so many people that, you know, come to me and work with me as clients, and it's gaining their confidence to know that when they're in front of that person, the messages from spirit come through. Not a moment before. Actually, I lie, okay? Because sometimes we get messages like 5-10 minutes beforehand, like in the full moon ceremony, like people were seeing it before I would say it, so they just had the next step, okay? And this is the thing, it's like, and I said to you guys in there, and I'm saying to you, like, do you think that I sit there and I, like, number one, stress about what's going to come through? Do you think that I sit there and, like, plan that out? That is not planning. It's called intuitive. It's called your gift. It's called being psychic. It's called your intuitive senses. That's how it works, right? Not one moment before. So if you get an idea to run a workshop, a class, an angel school, a something, like if you get an idea, okay, you act on it. You set a date, you set a time, you set it up, and you're promoting it. You're not going to sit there and go, oh, that's a good idea, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do in that workshop. I don't know. Oh, well, I don't know. And so you're sitting there like waiting for the information to come. Like it's not going to fucking come. It won't come through until you've set the date. And you might, if you set the date and start promoting it, you might start getting ideas. And or you'll be testing your faith that until you sit down with all those people, then it comes through. I can't stress this enough. Okay? This is how we trust our intuition. Okay? And I'm going to give you an everyday example that I bet you have experienced, okay? You're driving to the shops and you just know there's going to be a car park right at the front. Maybe it's like something that you always work with. You just know, you don't know exactly where, but you know when you get there, you're going to see it and you're going to drive right in. Like, who's done that before? You just knew that even though it's so freaking busy, you're going to get there and you're just going to get the perfect park and it's going to be right there. Like, come on, tell me you haven't experienced that. Like, this is just stepping it up a notch to actually share the messages with people who are willing to listen. If you're watching this live stream, it's time for you to step up. Okay? Renee says, I know exactly what you mean. Exactly. Renee says, I'm being pulled back to your teaching. Awesome. Natalie knows what you mean. Exactly. Right? It comes through when you've committed to it. I'm like, oh, again, that's a great idea, but I don't know what I'd do in there. And then you're like stuck in the like, I don't know, and I've got to figure it all out and plan it all out. No. Sometimes I get an idea and, you know, and sometimes I get a stream of like things and I'll be like, oh my God, I need to talk about that on live stream. And so I don't forget because maybe I'm doing the dishes and it all starts coming through. I get a pen and paper and a notepad and I just write dot points. And I write dot points and then I'll just have them here so that it'll jog my memory of what I need to talk about. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I turn up and I'm like, I don't know what I need to talk about, but I just know that there's a message that needs to come through. So I'm just going to get up and share whatever comes through. Like, this is how it works. Okay. So like I said, if you want an experience of this to gain your confidence and your skills, join the full moon ceremony with the replays right there. You can jump straight in and listen and watch it right away. Gain your skills. And then it's like, and this was an activation as well of like, what are you doing this year? What is your steps and transcendence? And this was the start of transcendence. So this full moon ceremony is part of transcendence. So we technically start transcendence next week on Friday the 13th. The full moon ceremony is included. So when you sign up to transcendence, you'll get a link to join the full moon ceremony. So you can, it's like part of it. Okay. So you can either do the full moon ceremony by itself or join transcendence. And the link is in the title of this title of this live stream. I'll pop it in the comments as well. So because with transcendence, it's a 6-week journey. Yeah, it's a 6-week journey to really activate, and we go into a 20-year goal plan. Okay, and it's not like step by step. It's an energetic alignment. It's a quantum shift. It's a like really pulling your goals, your dreams, your hopes into the current reality rather than, you know, oh, that's a great idea. Same sort of thing that we've just been talking about, right? So transcendence helps you to implement and ground that into physical reality. And it feels so potent, and that full moon ceremony just confirmed it, that this 6-week journey of transcendence that starts next week, and there was 13 people just then on live stream on the 13th of January. We start on Friday the 13th. It's the perfect goddess number. And it's a 6-week journey to starting 2023. Like it was just, this full moon ceremony just, it confirmed it. Like I already knew that, right? Back 9 months ago when we got the date to start, I was like, it's Friday the 13th in January, at the start of 2023. I'm like, this is going to be potent. And everything leading up to it has been clearing out, ready in preparation for that, like 100%, right? So this is a potent time to really activate, unplug from all that is unnecessary, activate your true source code to only do your intuition, to only do your purpose, this is your year, but are you really going to trust your intuition enough? No, not just trust, but follow through on those ideas that you get and the things that support you in that space. Yeah. Natalie says, I never know why I'm speaking things I do. Exactly. Sometimes we find out later and sometimes we don't. And that post that I shared yesterday about like you pick up the subconscious and like, you know, like people call you crazy, but you're actually just speaking the truth of the subconscious, and people don't like that at times, right? Karen says, I can't wait for it to start. So symbolic as you're born on Friday the 13th. I love that so much. And this is going to be the year for activation. Yeah, this is so potent. Transcendence starting at this time. I'm in awe, but that ceremony just literally like confirmed it all. Not that I needed that. So yes. So Natalie, keep working and holding that space because you can. I fully have faith in you. Hi, Gloria. And Kathy had said, I love this. I actually have a monthly group gathering starting. That will be monthly. I love it. I have no idea how it will go. See, this is the thing. You just do it until it. What did they say? Build it and they will come. Yeah, that's exactly how it goes. Yeah. I have no idea how it will go, but I just want to start putting myself out there. Honestly, it's so potent. I love that you've done this. I love it. Just post it in my group. Yep, exactly. Just do it. Just do it. Susan says, why haven't I been sleeping for a week straight? We spoke about that in the full moon ceremony. There's a lot of people that haven't been sleeping, that haven't been, that have been feeling lots of tears and haven't been sleep. That was a topic of conversation when we were downloading and debriefing after the ceremony. So I'd highly recommend jumping in for the full moon ceremony. Very, very powerful. It was very heart healing, but lots of resentment, betrayal, anything that's hurt your heart was released and transformed. It's quite funny. We actually didn't spend much time there. It was pretty amazing where we ended up going after that. So I love it. Julie says, the date of transcendence is such a huge marker for me in several things. 1 year in, another 18-month timelines, and of course it's Friday the 13th. It's so powerful, right? For a lot of people, and I don't set the date for transcendence. And what I mean by that is that transcendence, when it first came through, like the very first time we ran transcendence, I don't know, it was maybe halfway through or something. It was a few years ago. It was like, we have to run this every 9 months. And I was like, what? And it's like, because we've got a 20-year timeline in there, right? And some people are like, I don't know what we're going to do in 20 years time, like whatever, but we really go into all of that in there. But because it is, future casting and pulling that into now and timeline collapsing and, all of those amazing things, we like every 9 months is like layered and it's layered and it's layered and it's layered, so it's like every 9 months, and we know that 9 months is the birthing portal. Yeah. So 9 to 10 months is when a woman has a baby. And so it's like, it's like layered and you can feel it. Yeah. It's that cyclic layer, and it pulls it in. This year, it's going to be freaking potent. So link is in the title of this live stream. I've pinned it to the comments. If you want to be able to trust your intuition and act on it, and you want an experience of that, jump into the full moon ceremony, catch the replay, make sure you listen to the debriefing that we all went through at the end. Remember, transcendence includes the full moon ceremony, so you can jump in for the full moon ceremony as well as Transcendence that starts next week. Even if you signed up next week, you'd still get access to the full moon ceremony, so you can watch the replay then. So otherwise, the potent message for this live stream is that are you sure you're going to trust your intuition? Are you sure you're going to step up into the spiritual leader that you're meant to be? Because if you're here watching this, this is the message for you. Yeah, we turn up and then the information comes through. We set the date and we promote it, and then the information comes through. Usually not one moment before you're sitting on the damn mat and about to start. Okay? It's called trust. I'll see you soon.